You ever have to have hard conversations with your clients and your customers? It's something I have to deal with every day. I had a insurance client come in last week for an annual checkup, and he was suffering with LAS. Now you might be wondering, Mr. Doctor, what is LAS? And I'll explain that to you in a minute, but first off, I'm your local hope dealer. I'm not a drug dealing doctor like most of the Western culture. I'm a hope dealer. And what I'm going to help you do today is identify the deficiencies in your business diet. Okay, so let me take these off. That operating procedure was... So most agents aren't aware of what's actually causing them all the mayhem. And I'll give you, without violating like client confidentiality, I'll tell you what this agent was experiencing and why he came for his annual checkup like 11 months too early, because he just couldn't get past this, and it was causing him all kinds of stuff, constipation in his business. But LAS, and I'll give you what he was struggling with. He couldn't afford to go where he wanted, when he wanted, with who he wanted, to do what he wanted. He was like looking at Expedia, at all these beautiful places. He wanted to take his girlfriend to Egypt. He wanted to take his mom to Macedonia and go check out Europe and fly first class, but he had to jump on the inconvenience airlines, and he was constantly being hassled by TSA agents and who thought they were CIA agents. Isn't it so funny how this country employs the dumbest people for the most power-stricken positions? But he was wondering, he's like, why am I constantly experiencing poverty? Why can I not get ahead? Why am I spending all day trading time for money? And it's like, oh, it's like you're experiencing LAS, and it's lead addiction syndrome. And this is a deadly disease that most agents don't realize they're asymptomatic, and they keep spreading. This is in the form of uplines and agency owners. And there's a couple things that this causes, and it's a real nasty little creature, okay? But I'll show you how to get rid of it today. Okay, so how to know if you have lead addiction syndrome is if you believe this equation is true. This agent kept telling me, time is money, time is money. I was like, no, it's not. I know you might hate what you're about to be told, and I'm sorry, but help usually hurts before it helps. All right, so stay with me for 1 second. At the end of this video, I'll show you how to get rid of LAS forever, because there's a couple actually, there's another disease that he was facing, and it's deadly. This will kill your business before it even starts, before it can take its first breath. Okay, so time is not money. If I gave you $1 million but said you have to die tomorrow, how fast would you rush to give me that $1 million back? Pretty quick. Now, on average, in order to make $1 million buying and dialing leads, trading time for money, you're gonna have to work about 6,700 hours a year of buying and dialing leads. Now there's roughly 8,600 hours in a year, and you spend a third of that sleeping. So that means you can't spend any time with family, you can't enjoy any hobbies, you can't take your dogs for walks, you can't go to the zoo with your kids on a Tuesday when the lines are short. So instead, what we wanna do is stop trading time, a limited resource, for an unlimited. Like, it just doesn't work. If you trade a limited resource, you will get a limited outcome, a limited result. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. Don't buy the lie, it's too expensive. All right? So this agent was constantly buying leads because he was playing that game of telephone we all used to play in school, where Susie said, well, John said. It's like, well, my upline said, my upline said, my upline said. And the dissemination of this deadly disease, it causes all the poverty that we agents have to face, that you agent have to face in this industry. And what's really nasty is it also creates another deadly disease that most insurance agents don't even know they have. Would you like to know what it is? Are you sure? Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. Are you absolutely sure? Okay. It's called colitis. And it's a direct result of lead addiction syndrome. So what happens is you trade all your time for money to buy leads, to bottle all day. It makes no sense. And I had to break it down and give him the pill for this, which was selling one to many. And it's really sad because he's so worried about what his upline thinks if he goes outside of his agency for help. And I just kind of had to shine the light in his eyes, if you know what I mean, about the truth. Like, hey, if you want to get rid of LAS, and I'll show you kind of what this looks like in your business in the unseen symptoms, like what's laying beneath the surface. So I don't even want to look at this with my naked eye again. So how to know if you have lead addiction syndrome or colitis is it's almost like a diet. Except where are you getting it from? Buying and dialing leads is like listening to the Diabetic Association prescribe a diet for diabetics. Do you know what's in most of their diets? Sugar. They recommend sugar cubes for diabetics. The Diabetic Association. What? It's like the uplines who say you need to buy. I might get sick. They say you need to. I have to write it down because I can't even say it. And I'll give you the equivalent math formula. This is the same, or can be expressed mathematically as Isn't that scary? And what this diet looks like and what it does to your body is, here you are, and we're going to draw an in-depth stomach diagram. So here's your stomach. You're buying the leads. This is like the meat or food you put in your mouth. The leads are the lifeblood, so they're the protein of your diet. But here's the thing. With all this new meat coming out and synthetic foods and preservatives and all this fake shit where a McDonald's burger can stay in a glass display case for 10 years and look like it's still a brand new burger, that's what buying and dialing leads looks like. It's all fake. There's no real substance or protein in there. It's deficient of nutrition and minerals, which is part of a real healthy, balanced diet for a business. So you buy these leads, you say, "Hey, Mr. Lead Vendor, let me give you my hard-earned money and I'll trade my time to buy leads and dial all day. Woohoo!" And what happens is you start eating these leads. You're getting about 80 a week, but you can only reach 20 of them. But you still eat all 80. And what happens is these leads go down into your stomach and only 20% of the leads make it all the way through and you poop them out. What happens to the other 60 leads? Well, they just sit there and collect, and it's almost like unhealthy fat. Now, what happens when you can't digest stuff? Because this agent was constipated in his business when he came to me. He couldn't digest the rest of his leads because there was no follow-up. He had colitis. He had no automated follow-up process, which I'll show you how to do at the end of this video. It's very simple if you click the link in the description or the comments below. But this other 80% of leads he couldn't digest. They were just storing and accumulating and nothing was being done with them. And he started getting really big. And here's the thing, is his wife actually divorced him because he started getting overweight and he broke his promise that he made to her, like, yeah, I'll keep you safe. He had to lift the flap up to see as you know what. Like, it was completely disgusting. And I was like, look, what you have to do is, like, first we got to go on a cleanse. We have to fast and get all of this stuff broken down. We have to let the body, the business, break down all this digested junk. And we have to send it somewhere. We have to let the kidneys and all that stuff filter and process stuff, which is like the automated selling system, the clone in your business doing the selling for you. They'll digest all this for you if you just build it. And once you do it once, it's done for you forever. Like, we don't want to keep trading time for money. We want to trade one input for infinite amount of outputs. It's almost like writing a best-selling book. You write it once and it sells forever. If we build a system that I'm going to show you how to at the end of this video, You'll never have to worry about call-itis or lead addiction syndrome ever again. I don't want you buying and dialing leads, because my doctor's approach is, let me fix the root cause causing all of your problems, not being able to go where you want, with who you want, not being able to afford your dream destinations and vacations with beautiful people to create beautiful experiences, sitting there looking up at the ceiling at night wondering, how can I make more money? The problem isn't that you don't make enough money. The problem is that you don't make money fast enough. Why? Because of digestion issues in your business. So what does that look like? We have to get the automated clone to sell that, process all that stuff, and get it to come out as well. That's it. That is it. So once we start trading where we are spending our money and time, we can fix all of this. And if you want to know how to digest the 80% of the leads that are going through unsold in your business who don't even know who you are, if you'd like to recoup 80% more revenue, like, I want to help you 10x, not 2x, because this agent was working 6,700 hours a year, which means he had no time to do anything he loved. He had no time for hobbies. He had no time to take his dogs for a walk. He had no time to even think about all the amazing things he could accomplish if he stopped trading time for money. If you want to work about 500 hours a year and make 10 times more money than he would if he would have stayed on that path, luckily he lost all the weight and all that stuff in his business, and it wasn't fat anymore. And the obesity, like, most Americans dig their grave with a plate, with a knife and a fork and a plate. It's what most insurance agents do with buying and dialing leads. That's their fork and their knife. And they're trying to cut these leads up of transactional relationships of someone they bought for $8 from some lead vendor who they requested a solar quote. Now you're trying to sell them insurance? It's so scammy. It's so bait and switchy. It's so unethical. It displeases God. I know that might go against everything you believe or everything you've been told, but like, not everyone I like and agree with is always right. Not everyone I disagree with and don't like is always wrong. So I want to teach you to look for what's beneath the surface, what's actually happening in your stomach of your business. Most of your leads are going through undigested and unsold. And you're not making money fast enough. So here's the thing. If you want to get rid of LAS and call-itis, I don't even want to talk about like prospect palsy and dialomania or callophobia or any of that stuff in this video, because it's scary enough as it is. If you're ready to get rid of lead addiction syndrome, LAS, and call-itis in your business forever, that way you never, like, if you're ready to stop treating symptoms and start doing something, making $1 million is very easy when you break it down with numbers. The problem is most insurance agents run their business by the seat of their pants and based on a game of telephone of what an uplines agency owner said. And it's complete farce. Or some YouTube video of someone who just wants to sell you more junk, okay? They just want to sell you more processed and printed lab meat grown from Bill Gates' farm. It's disgusting. These people sold their souls. So I'm your local friendly neighborhood hope dealer, and I'm a Prosperitan at heart. So I believe in serving my people that God has allowed me to serve aggressively, to the point where I'm willing to die on a hill for them to help treat the cause of all their symptoms in the business. Let's stop treating symptoms and start fixing the cause. All right? And I'll help you become the person that's easy for. Making $1 million is easy. Becoming the person capable of doing it, or who that it's easy for, is the hard part. So if you want to skip all the bullshit and you want to stop digesting, if you want to stop getting constipated with, I'm not even going to say it again, click the link down below or go to runningbuddiesacademy.com. Click the link down in the description, first link in the comments. Go register, have a free event where I'll teach you, where I'm not going to shove pills down your throat. I'm going to show you what exactly you need to do to make your first $1 million as an insurance agent, okay? I have another client coming through that I have to diagnose with callophobia or dialomania. He's suffering some real nasty stuff of like uplines telling him to do stuff that makes no sense. I'll share that with you in another video, but in the meantime, click the link down below in the description and I'll see you over there, my fellow Prosperitan. Happy hustling, and until next time, stay out of my office. I don't want you back in here. A patient cured for me is like a brand new world, so, oh, this is nasty. I gotta get out of here. I'll see you on the next one. Click the link down below.